The discovery of the old tape in James Mason's attic was nothing short of extraordinary, but what makes it truly haunting is the fact that it was never meant to be heard. James Mason, the legendary British actor known for his elegant voice and unforgettable roles in classic films, passed away in 1984, leaving behind a rich cinematic legacy. However, decades later, while renovating his former home, the new owners stumbled upon a dusty, unmarked box hidden deep in the attic. Inside was a reel-to-reel audio tape, aged and fragile, its label worn off. What it contained would leave even the most skeptical listener shaken. When the tape was professionally restored and played, it revealed a private audio diary recorded by Mason himself. The voice was unmistakable, calm, articulate, and deeply introspective. But this wasn't the voice of a man performing for an audience. This was Mason alone with his thoughts, speaking candidly about his fears, regrets, and disillusionment with Hollywood, fame, and even his own past. There was no script, no direction, just the raw vulnerability of a man who had carried the weight of a public image for decades. In the recordings, Mason reflected on the price of celebrity, describing it not as a gift, but as a gilded cage. He spoke of roles he wished he had never taken, the relationships that crumbled under the strain of his career, and the loneliness that often accompanied his success. Perhaps most startling was his admission of certain secrets, names, incidents, choices, that painted a very different picture of the man the world thought it knew. These weren't scandalous in the tabloid sense, but they were deeply personal and painfully honest. Experts and family members now believe Mason never intended for anyone to hear the tape. It seemed to be his way of unburdening himself, recording thoughts too heavy to carry but too dangerous to share during his lifetime. Some argue that releasing the tape is a violation of his privacy, while others see it as a final, posthumous performance, one that reveals the soul behind the star. Regardless of how it's viewed, the tape adds a profound new layer to Mason's legacy. It reminds us that behind every icon is a human being, flawed, reflective, and longing, like all of us, to be understood.